Hey, hello again. Well, take a look. We're going to show you everything from the ridiculous to the sublime here. The ridiculous first, as we approach the airport here in Terrace, British Columbia. There is a highway, a group of suburban tract homes on the highway, a superhighway road sign, and traffic lights, a neighborhood street, the airport, and here in British Columbia, palm trees. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, palm trees in all of their splendor. I know it's a kind of rainforesty climate, but palm trees, maybe not, I don't know. Anyway, that is the ridiculous. The sublime, well, here, two sublimes, obviously the IXEG 737-300, but the real sublime here is, look at this, my God. I mean, clouds dappling overhead, the Skeena River flowing nearby, nice little town, bridges, and all sorts of stuff. And as usual, my view is corrupted. So, first things first, check our view. We're going to do this like a real-world flight. And of course, for me, a real-world flight is getting my equipment wrong, my views wrong, my fuel wrong. And so let's just get that set. The view should not be 60 degrees. It should be 80 degrees, give or take. There we go. There's our view. Also, our gyro has inexplicably tumbled, but it does that sometimes. Anyway, here's the flight we're going to take. We're going to go from one unbelievably gorgeous place. Wow. I mean, I can't get over this. This is just this is X-Plane with UHD mesh for the mountains. But this is autogen scenery, so this is just what it slaps over the mesh that we put in and the OpenStreetMap data that it contains. This is the airport, which is on a ledge along the river, as you can see right here. We're going to go off a runway 15 because that's the way the prevailing winds are. And God, actually, I wish I could just stay here for a few months, get some fishing in, unwind, do sweet FA, as they say in Great Britain. And if you're British, you know what sweet FA is, or sweet BA, which would be bugger all. This is X-Plane 1051, release candidate 2. Looks pretty damn good. Ordinarily, I'd pick out a flight by going into FlightAware, seeing what the airlines do, how they fly it, what route they take. But this route from here down to Victoria on the tip of Vancouver Island is really not a flight I don't think the airlines do. So we've mapped it out in SkyVector, and we'll just enter it into our FMS, or FMC, or FM something, or FM whatever they want to call it. This being Boeing, it would be a FMC with a CDU. I'm going to open up the windows here because I can, and because it's just so damn cool. And listen to the ka-thunk when it closes. That's just magnificent. They're coming out with a 1.1 version of the aircraft shortly, but at the moment we're on APU. Let me just make sure we're fueled right. We're probably not. Go into the ground services menu, and we could make it on that, but let's build in a little margin here. Give ourselves 5,000 for the climb, about 7,000 pounds for the cruise, and about 4,000 or 5,000 for diversion. Refuel there. And for our load, let's have a medium-sized load here. There we go. Alright. Center of gravity 12.3. That's pretty far forward. and trim 4.5, so that'll make us a little nose happy. We've got almost full tanks left and right, empty tanks on the center. We can start to enter our route and our other data, so let's go back to ground services here, and our gross weight is 110.3, and our planned fuel is 20, and our reserves will be 4. Cost index 85. Cruising altitude will be. Let's do 310. We can do that certainly on this flight. And transition altitude. I don't know why it's stuck on 5K, but here in Canada it's 18. All right, skip that. We will do a regular thrust takeoff at the standard temperature. Climb on climb 1. Boom, boom, boom. And you'll notice that our CG and trim are wrong, and I don't know why that is, but our CG should be 12.3, and we'll see what it calculates. It usually calculates 4.4 instead of 4.5, but that's fine. Alright, that's all good. So, first of all, I hate saying that. It's all good. I hate that. It's never all good. We're all going to die. It is not all good. Sometimes it's okay, but it's never all good. I don't know why that cheeses me off so much, but it's not all good. And anybody who says, oh, it's all good, they really mean, shut up, you asshole. But they don't want to say it. And that's okay. You probably shouldn't shout out, shut up, you asshole, all the time. By the same token, you can probably stop far short of saying it's all good, especially when it's not. It's okay. It's okay to say nothing. You don't have to say it's all good. Alright. Let us see. Having ranted and raved about that, let me just check. Everything is okay. Everything is okay. Yes, it is. So V1 is 128. So it's 128, 130, 139. I don't know why this always defaults to Mach hold. Set 139 in here. I don't know why it's the convention for this autopilot to set V2 and then have it automatically do V2 plus 15 or 20, I forget which, whereas in the 777 you set whatever it is, V2 plus 10, V2 plus 20, V2 plus something, and that's the convention there, but I guess that's just the convention. At any rate, so what do we have? 128, 130, and 149. So we'll just get these suckers here to 80. So we have a reminder to cross-check our speed. Our V2 is set. We can set this little guy to 128. And this guy to 140, 130, I'm sorry. And this one to 210, which is where we'll want to be done with our cleanup. But it's all good. Ooh, I hate that. I don't know why I hate that. It's terrible. But you know why I hate it? Because it's an easy out. It just rhetorically just doesn't say anything. Just sort of like saying, "Hey, don't punch me in the face, please. It's all good." 2986. I don't know why I'm so head up about it. 2986 for our altimeter. Maybe I fly better when I'm pissed off. I know the last flight was enough to piss me off. It was not all good there. I totally botched the transition off of autopilot on the approach and autothrottle. And then I had an uncommanded thrust reverser deployment, which apparently is not doable in the real thing. However, is doable in the sim because of control anomalies. Let me just, you see. I have to reset my controls anyway. There are my throttles. My reversers don't work, you see. That's my reversers. So par for the course. Yeah. I don't know why they don't work. Reverse 1. Reverse 2. No! They're not supposed to be throttles. Alright, that doesn't work, obviously. Nah, still doesn't work. It's supposed to be reverse. It's supposed to be these guys. Huh. Not sure why that doesn't work. But let's really quickly do some things that we will not have to do at X-Plane 11, at least not in the same interface. And that is calibrate joystick and hardware. Okay. Throttle 1, throttle 2. Reverse 1, reverse 2. Roll. Pitch. Rudder trim. Hey, that turns green. At least that works right. EOA, which should light up as green. Yes, it does. Right toe brake is magnificent. Left toe brake is wonderbar. Mixture. There we go. Alright, that all should work. No, we'll just have to do it ourselves. No, it doesn't work. God damn it. Throttle works, that's good. Mixture works, I don't care. Reverse does not work. Reverse operates the throttles, which is deeply and morally wrong. Alright, I don't get it. Well, maybe that was the source of my problem before. That works, that's good. Let's see if rudder trim works. No. Of course not. Alright, well, screw it. Make sure our APU is running. It is. That's good. Get these out of the way. Alright, don't know why reversers don't work, but we'll just do a quiet landing with no reversers. Alright, position light needs to be on. Everything else can be off. We can, at the moment, turn our engine bleeds off. We're taking it from the APU. We've got enough pressure to start. Let's enter our route first. Pain in the ass. Alright, CYXT is where we're going from. And I don't know if this is technically Skeena or Terrace. My apologies to natives. Just know that I envy you. Alright, CYYJ is where we're going. By the way, thank you everyone for watching my comparison P3D X-Plane video. I think about 8,000 people have seen it, which is spectacular. And I'm glad I could maybe be of some service to some people. Alright, so we're going to go to ZKI, and I'm tremendously gratified by your comments, and I'm also eager to point out that I'm not trying to start a war with that. I'm really not. Oh, nuts. Alright. Gizmo error. Let's just save this flight. This really is a real-time flight. You're going through every single annoyance I ever go through. CYXT, CYYJ. Save situation. I'm probably going to have to redo this. quit. Get to see my beautiful desktop. Restart X-Plane. In the comparison, I did not take note of two things. One is that, like every other platform, you get products that are buggy from vendors who are doing the best they can, but somewhat unlucky when it comes to what they've hatched. So the IXEG 737-300 has been kind of glitchy and buggy and weird with certain things, and one of the things is its FMC, and it tends to throw gizmo errors. It uses a gizmo plugin to run systems, and so gizmo sometimes barfs with it. So we find ourselves doing this. X-Plane on the whole, though, as just a platform, seems to be more solid and more stable. It seems to be generally less flaky. So, like everything else, it's a trade-off. You know, there are airplanes that aren't as well developed as the IXEG as well on both sides. Carenado. I'm sorry, did somebody say Carenado? I didn't. No. Very beautiful planes, nonetheless, but there seems to be quite a few amateur developers on X-Plane with a lot of stuff that's still work in progress. I don't lump IXEG into that category. They're very good developers, but their 737 is very much a work in progress. So it informs me right down in the lower left-hand corner of the screen it is done with preloading. Oh, look! We've got... Hang on. I've got X camera here that I have to kill as we go back to our maintenance here. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Alright, now we're good to go. Anyway, the gyros, as you see, have not tumbled this time, but I will bet you our flight plan is gone, and it is, god damn it, but that's okay. Fine. Get our fuel back and do this right. Alright, we'll give ourselves a pretty hefty load. And here's our fuel. And our C of G is now... Wow, that's far forward. It's about 6.3. Alright, so our gross weight is 130. Yada yada. 3, that's pretty hefty. And our cruise altitude will be 310. And our reserves will be 4. And our cost index will be 85. And our transition altitude will be 180. And we'll climb on climb 1. And there are bugs, and you can see the speeds are higher because we are heavier. So 142, 144, 152. Wow, alright. Well, cool. Shouldn't do that. Alright, so 152 for V2. And a box of corks for Mr. Mark. That is the origin of the word cork, apparently, from James Joyce. All right, 142, 144. Boom. Again, 200 for our cleanup speed. Done. Okay, we'll do our route. Do this lightning fast. Close as I can get. 1.5. Done. Alright, now ZKI. See if it takes it this time. Maybe it's just too cool. There we go. Alright, ZKI. B25, although I doubt we'll attain it. But B25. And we'll take that to YJQ. Okay, done. Then the V440. Now let's see if it gets the kink in the route. Gets this kink and continues on with the V440. We'll take it to QQ. Because why not? Yes, it'll do it. So it looks like it'll do all the segments of that route. Alright, good. And then V440 to CYYJ. Right to the airfield. No. Oh, go to Kenzo. Point not on airway. All right. Oh, that's why it should be CAMZO. Point not on airway. Well, as a matter of fact, it is. Or isn't it? Guess Duncan. There we go. Okay. And finally, let's throw in our arrival. Fly the Buick 3. And the YVR transition to ILS 27. Alright, let's see how our flight plan looks. It'd be nice if my cameras worked. There we go. Alright, flop this into plan mode. And take a look. So for that, go to step. Next. Next. Okay, got discontinuity here. We'll get rid of that. Okay, good. Alright, we're good to go there. Good to go on our fuel. We are not good to go on our forecast. Certainly not good to go on my lack of sleep. Wow. Alright, we are at 2986. Wind 150 at 8. Okay, 2986. Good. Alright, now let's see if our controls work. There's our reversers. There's our throttles. And here is our rudder trim. Good. Okay, so let's get started. Looks like I've got the ground power unit going, which I don't really need. You can see I've used 40 pounds for the APU right off the bat. Excuse me. Okay. Turn this on because we're going to be starting up shortly. And let me get our FMS out of map plan into. Alright, looking good. Nobody around. We can sneak out of here if we want. So for a push, we want to go out that way. Well, it's going to be rough getting around that Airbus. Wow. Alright, so we want nose to our... I always get it backwards, but I want nose to our right, I think. Doesn't show up here. Okay, walk around is done. And now we will push and start. Okay, and pushback is not illuminated. Wonder why. Alright, well, I guess we'll just power back from the gate. Nothing much else to do, so get started. And away we go. Our pressure drops. Alright, just above 25, and oh crap, hang on. Considerate me, I saw the GPU truck there, and I decided to start number 1 first, and so we have. Now we start number 2. Okay, number 1 is a good start. Number 2, everything's in the pink. There we go, there's 20% in 1. And you are looking good today, Taco. Alright. Alright, we got an arrival in. Alright, all good on our starts. All good on our heats. All good on our gadgets. Switch over to main power. Okay, looks good. At this point we can turn off our APU. Done. Turn on our bleeds. They're on. Turn off our APU bleeds. That's good. Set our cruising altitude at third. Ah, shit. All right. Well. All right. We're still on the tarmac. But that was egregiously stupid. Alright. Buick 3, yes. ILS 27, yes. For the moment, that's the way we're going to go. Done. Done. Okay, and looks fine. Done. Alright, now we're going to use our reversers to back up. I don't know if the 737 is authorized for this, but I do know that in 727s and DC-9s for certain airlines they sure did. So what that involves is bringing in the reversers removing the brakes. Just creeping on out of here. As you can see. And not getting on the brakes because we will stand the aircraft on the tail. Instead, we're just going to do that. And I believe, yeah, that'll get us set up nicely. Alright, so we can bugger on out of here. Stick our arm out the window as we taxi. It's a beautiful day. And it is indeed our prerogative to do so. Alright, just going to taxi out in some pretty tight quarters here. This airplane has, I believe, 96 feet it needs of pavement. And then, of course, more clearance for the wings. Let's see how we're doing. Alright, we're just going to scrape by. Alright, Air Canada Brethren. I believe CP Air went on to become part of Canadian. And then Canadian, of course, merged quite a few years back now with Air Canada. Alright, so away we go. We'll take off in heading mode. Turn on our flight directors. Captain first. Get into heading select mode. We do not have a SID published for this airport, nor is there an obstacle departure procedure. However, they helpfully provide a circling guide for nighttime operations. So what we can do is, if we need to, we can sort of bastardize that a little bit and use it here and just use it to climb in this river valley here, or this valley here to be more accurate. So we can do that and it wouldn't hurt. So let me just set runway heading here. Give or take. 152. Yes, 152. All right, good. It is as I remembered it. So we're taxiing out to runway 15. We are bugged up. We're fueled up. We're not trimmed up. So get our final trim. Ground services is, of course, grayed out. I believe we needed about 5.1 back trim because of just how nose heavy we are. I'll give it that. And we'll play the rest by ear. Check our controls. They are good. And we are stuck with, can't really test our rudder as we taxi, but that's okay. Never had it fail. All right. Turn on our inboards. We're going to take the runway. Turn our igniters to continuous. Flip our pressurization to flight. Turn our cruising altitude to 310, and we're going to back taxi along the runway here. At our weight, we're not going to do an intersection departure. We are bulked up today. Alright, we're on a little bit of a shortened runway here. Check our cautions. They're clear. Our bleeds are on. Our packs should be on auto. Our cabin temps are fine, a little chilly. Recirc fans are on, yaw damper is on, pumps are where they should be. Gen 1 is making power, Gen 2 is making power, that's good. APU is off, that's good. Heats are on, anti-ice is off, and it all looks good. So we'll blaze the logos, turn on the strobes, get these suckers on, get them all on, and get ready to go flying. Should be in heading select, we are, and auto throttle's armed, and power set, and toga set, and we have our first problem. So we're going to abort. Yay! And you know what that problem is? Our old friend the flaps. Jesus. Flaps 5 takeoff. Let's double check our trim. Double check our rudder trim, which is neutral. And there is our flight director. And now we have to recycle it. Bim, bam, heading select, auto throttle armed. Got a shorter runway now. Heading set, heading select, altitude set, auto brakes armed, flaps set, trim checked, speeds bugged, and MCP set. Alright, this time we won't be idiots. After all that, we're misconfigured. A little bit of a crosswind on the takeoff here from the left. There's 80. All right. V1 and rotate. And away we go. It is a wonderful plane to fly, even if you don't fly it very well. Okay, positive rate, gear up. Alright. And LNAV. Now? Yes. eye on our terrain. Right, clean ourselves up. Looking nice. Okay, we're clean. As we rocket out of the valley. And I have no magenta line here, but let's get the autopilot in for the moment. And find out why we have no route. Oh, this is embarrassing. Direct to the next stop on our route. See if we can get a route. Yes. Yes, we do. Alright, we're good. Okay, we're in the soup, but in the clear, and in the clear we're above obstacles, which is a good thing. Alright, we are good, and we didn't have a magenta line because we were in the wrong display mode. That's what happens when you get rusty. Alright. Luckily we haven't put any lives in danger. Check our pressurization. We are pressurizing fine. Alright, that's good. Packs are going. Pressurization is going fine. Turn off the junk. Turn off the sparks and turn off the brakes. Alright, this is SkyMax 3, by the way. And they just announced SkyMax 4 with a lot of improvements, including performance improvements. At this point, let's get into VNAV. It's going to push our nose down and increase our speed. Ordinarily, I would have done it sooner, but I was sitting there looking around, and there's a cloud in the cabin. Alright, or in the cockpit, but hey, look at it bleed in there. That's kind of nice. Alright. So far, so good, although not great, to tell you the truth. Rid of that. Alright, so let's just enjoy the scenery for a moment. This isn't ortho scenery, by the way. This is just the good old fake, plausible scenery that X-Plane puts over its mesh and its OpenStreetMap data. And it looks pretty damn good. Alright, you can see VNAV wants us to climb much faster, not at a higher rate, but at a higher speed. 290 is what it's probably got. And that is looking pretty good. Our temps are looking good. Cabin pressure is fine. Lights are off. Cabin temp is good. Bleeds are where they should be. Altitude is where it needs to be. And our power is fine, so that's good. Look at that. That's pretty damn gorgeous. Okay. And that's pretty much where we came from. Just keeping an eye out for stuff, whatever that may be. We'll see it first. This is 1.07 of the airplane. They are working on 1.1, they say. It is in beta and will be out very soon, and that'll be wonderful. These, keep that, and these will be right about in the same place, I think. Alright, we're climbing satisfactorily. Ditch that, don't need it. Check on that. We are now direct Bella Bella, YJQ. We can tune that in at 325 cycles. I love this triple switch here, wow. 325, let's put that in Nav 1. We don't have it yet. Let's see if we can tune in a VOR anywhere along the way. We're kind of in the hinterlands. Let's do 203 Kitimat. NDB. We should be receiving that. And we are. And we've passed it. Looks good. I'm going to go from one NDB to another here. Actually, we should set up YZT Port Hardy, which is 112.0. And what we really should do is make nav 1 a VOR on our RMI and put 325 right here. Because we're really done with Kitimat. That way we'll have a little bit of belt and suspenders here. So not receiving either yet, which is totally expected. Okay, pressurization is good. Set standard altimeter now. Fuel burn is fine. Engines are fine. We're at climb power. Everything is hunky-dory. Temps are fine. We're in icing temperatures, but we're not in icing conditions. So, I'm going to leave the engine anti-ice where it is. We can tell people they can smoke now. Tell our cabin attendants to go give out the doilies and sex toys. I don't know why, that just sounds funny. Doilies and sex toys. Sure, why not? Just picture a dildo on a little lace cocktail coaster. That would be fun. Would you like nuts with that? No, that's wrong. I didn't say that. Did I say that? That's horrific. I should be flayed for that. Or filleted for that. So we go into a little bit of the choppiness here. And we do the standard flyby. I will say that X-Plane and P3D both do flyby views. However, in X-Plane you can just do it with a hotkey, whereas in P3D, you have to right-click and choose a view and etc., etc. So X-plane for the win for that, and for this airplane. I would say X-plane for the loss for some flakiness with some planes, but you know, also SkyMax for the loss for the limited weather draw distance. However, they say that SkyMax 4, they've doubled the draw distance, and they've also made the performance much better. So it's less like you're flying around in your own little cloud sandbox that keeps moving. So that's good. And in the meantime, as we head down the Skeena River area, this is just spectacular. I don't know if I'd even build ortho scenery for this. By the way, with 2 open source, relatively freeware programs, you can build your own photographic photoreal scenery for X-plane by using open source maps. You tell it where your global mesh scenery is. It builds new mesh. It covers the mesh in the Google Earth or USGS data. It builds masks if you want, so that you can still have X-plane draw roads and buildings and trees. And it's all available, although it's a little geeky and a little bit weird and a little bit hard to use. It's all available for the low price of $0, which is great. So I think at some point I'm going to be building some photoreal scenery for this. A compadre of mine was kind enough to build photoreal scenery for the Pilot Edge area and other parts of the country for me, and ship it to me on a hard drive, and I'm eternally grateful. And so in some of my other videos, especially ones in the Central California area, you can now see it in glorious photoreal beauty. Although I have to say, if you look at this, this is pretty damn good. That's really damn good. So it's fascinating. And with X-plane 11, X-plane 11 is going to bring updated terrain mesh and OpenStreetMap data. So all the stuff that it AutoGen lays down is going to get better. Okay, we're 800 feet away. Let's see if it levels off. I'm just watching for the flight mode annunciator here. It's going to tell me that we've captured altitude. I can already see it has, but it should enunciate when it captures. It seems to know what it's about to do, which is good. And bada boom. Could have sworn it enunciates, but I guess it doesn't. Alright. Good enough. He's nice. And since this is a pretty short hop, let's just start to brief our arrival. It says the top of climb is here, so we've gotten there a bit early. We're a bit better performing than it thinks we should be. All right, so we're 59 miles away from right here, from Bella Bella. And from Bella Bella, we're going to go to Port Hardy, and that's where we're going to hit Vancouver Island. And it is not far at all. We've started to pick up the NDB for Bella Bella. And if we really want, we're feeling anal retentive enough, and why not? Because you should. Let's identify it. No, there, ADF2. Can we hear it? Can we hear it, please? No. Oh, that's interesting. Should be able to identify it by listening to it. Alright, well, I'll work on that. In the meantime, take a look. Getting a little bit rocked, and getting a little bit of a headwind from right about over there, but not too bad. Just see what it wants to do for our arrival and see if we have to change anything. Let's see. Come on. This discontinuity here. Come on. There we go. Wow, we are getting battered. And I'm also come on. This thing is squirming around underneath me. Look at that. Hello. Alright, let's see if this makes sense. Turn the range down here. Alright. Ourselves into plan mode. Let's just check, make sure we're not shaking ourselves to pieces here. No, we're okay. Speed is fine. Autopilot seems to be willing and able. Alright, so there we are. Let's just step through our route. Okay. YZT. Hormo, fennel, tuna, that's all on the airway. QQ, it's jumping off the airway. Nimo, Duncan, okay, we turn at YVR, coming at Buick, and that should get us there. Let's see, Dungy, they want to turn at Dungy. It wants to turn at Dungy. And our chart says, our plate says, arrival, YVR Buick, yes, and then Impor. Lurlo, Dungy, that is going to be tight. That is going to be tight, and I think wrong. We should go to Lurlo and then Lafo. There's Lafo. YJQ, Buick. How did YJQ get there? think I've got a problem here because I think I've got, let's see, YZT. Camzo Duncan. Yes. Let's just get rid of that. Put that in. Get rid of the discontinuity. Buick Lafo Dungy. That looks more reasonable. All right. Just checking on the office here because we're getting hammered here, as you can see, as we approach Vancouver Island, which is right up there. Going through this little archipelago, which is deeply beautiful. But we're getting our heads beaten in here as we try and get a reasonable course and a reasonable set of crap in our FMC. So YJQ, that's where it should be. Coho, make the loop at Vancouver International. Then Buick, turn at Lafo, and Dungy, and runway 27. Lafo's 10. Let's go to Lurlo before Lafo. Let's just make it a full approach here. Pretend we're getting vectored to Lurlo, in essence. So, right, LIRLO, and we'll put it there. Execute, then Lafo, get rid of the discontinuity. Okay, that's good. And we don't want to be at Lurlo or Buick at 240. We want to be at YVR at 2 clear. Come on. Come on, stop bouncing. This is not easy. At, why is it doing that? Be at 2. Come on. Execute. Come on. Stop moving. Cut it out. There we go. Alright, so we want to be over Vancouver at 240 and 9. Okay. This is as slow as a real FMC on an old plane. That's good. And we want to be at Buick at 200. Because that's way too fast for where we are going to be. Come on, baby. There we go. Done. Okay. And we want to be at Lurlo at 180. Come on, computer. Do your thing. Done. And we want to be at Lafo at 160. Okay, that'll give us a more reasonable set of approach speeds, and will keep us from slam dunking ourselves into Victoria. So now let's step through it, see how it looks. Okay, there is Cormo, Vanuatu, Coho, off the airway onto the arrival. There's the turn to Vancouver, and onto the approach. Lurlo, Lafo, Dungy, good. Now we've got basically the same approach they would do if they vectored us from Vancouver, which is probably what they do. So that's good. So we can get out of our plan mode, back into map mode, bring that map out a little bit. We're still legal with the approach. We're still flying a full approach as it's published, but we're now, instead of the FMC put us onto the approach right here, which is a silly place to get onto an approach. This is a reasonable place, which is the intermediate fix, and this is a better place for us because it'll give us time to set up. So, and everything else is fine. It's you go this way and hold over this beacon, another NDB. And the minimum is 257. That's a decision altitude. So let me just bug that up. We're done. Let's see if we're still landing on 1.5. Yeah, let's see. Wind. 290 at 5 knots. We'll still land on 5. And our altimeter, 2984. And conditions actually look pretty good. We'll just set our standby at 2984. And our landing altitude is going to be like 50 feet, which is fine and set. That's good. Do a little descent planning. All right, TOD 198 miles. As we look around here, sounds good. Looks really good. Looks gorgeous. All right, let's see how we're doing. It says we're 69 from here. '69 from Port Hardy, and we have Port Hardy tuned up. We're not, yeah, we are receiving it. So we're 66 miles from Port Hardy. Let's see how that squares with the FMC. Says we're 66 miles from Port Hardy. So that's a good sanity check. And we tuned in the Port Hardy NDB. First of all, let's see if we can hear Port Hardy VOR. There we go. Long, dot, dash. Yep, there we go. So that's identified. Old school. And let's see, we can also tune in the NDB, which is 242. We'll tune that into nav2. Just gives us the added bit of awareness. Let's see if we can identify that. Now it's odd that we're not picking that up. There we go, now we're picking it up, and we can hear it. Dash, dash, dot, dot, dash, it should be. Listen. Which is Morse code for Z and T. Z is dash, dash, dot, dot. And it's right there, more or less. Alright, so we're good. We got navigation for both. And you can see we've got a RMI pointer here as well. So that is good. Let's check our localizer frequency. Is going to be 109.95 at 089. I mean at 269. So we are not going to fly this arrival by going from the YJ NDB flying out and doing a procedure turn. We're going to get vectored from Buick to here. So we're going to get vectored from somewhere out there to here. I've just sort of built it in. We're not a procedure turn sort of crew here. So 109.95. Just going to get that in nav2 right now. That way we can look at it. Unlike in the mighty Saab, we don't have the ability to display nav1 and nav2 needles on our screen, which is too bad. I think you can do RMI needles, obviously, for both, but can't do the other. Alright. 109.95 and 269 will be the course. Just get that ready. That way I can glance over here and I can see it coming. Okay, we're getting close to Port Hardy. Looking very good today, Taco. Whoa. Not great on the camera work though, sorry. Sorry. That's my Alec Guinness impersonation. Watching Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, the original BBC miniseries with Bernard Hepton and Ian Richardson from House of Cards. Ian Richardson, no. Yes, Ian Richardson. And, of course, the great Alec Guinness. A whole cast of people from the National Theatre, basically. Trying to catch the mole, Gerald. Run by the arch enemy of British intelligence, Carla. And here comes Port Hardy. If I had to guess, I'd say that is literally the port. Let's see if it is. I'll bet it is. Check our geographic features. Alright, there's the port, and to the left of it is the airport. So, and being X-plane, we've gotten all of a sudden weather where there was no weather before, but that's okay. It's the sort of traveling weather that accompanies you everywhere. And we are 158 miles from top of descent. We're looking good. Let's see if I can entertain you for a minute. I don't know whether how long this will play and record, but let's see if we can on YouTube here find the Space Shuttle cockpit video where I get my awful "you are looking good today" taco. Is it this one? Yeah, I think it is. Here, let's do this for the moment. You'll see a real landing here. Briefly turn that down. And just watch this.
Yeah, there's the HUD. Great. Good picture? Can you see that?
Yep, it's a good picture.
Great.
Until we get land under it, we'll leave it as it is.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so they're landing at Edwards here. And they are still supersonic, if I'm not mistaken, at this point.
They never did tell us what the weather was.
Mach 2.
Yep.
Mach
2. They sure didn't.
And I believe they are at...
Be nice to know what clouds to expect, wouldn't it? I just can't understand that.
Well, what does it look like?
Well, it looks like there's an undercast.
It looks pretty cloudy to us back here.
Well, that's a good picture. Make a nice picture.
It's not exactly a sterile cockpit, is it?
Like Taco's going to get the logs of instrument time on this one. Yeah, okay.
They used, I think, a microwave landing system that allowed for a curved approach.
1.6 Mach.
So they're going to come down.
Right turn.
And they're going to make
a right turn.
They're going to make a turn around a point to lose some speed and line up.
Wait a second. It's real hazy. I could make out some of the lake. Atlanta, Houston, on energy approaching the hack. Deploy. Copy, we'll drag shoot deploy, and my covers are all open. Same here.
And the hack is the
1.1 Mach.
heading alignment cylinder. That's where you turn. And the pilot flying is being coached through it. Pilot not flying.
This is 0.97. That isn't too bad. Right, it comes now. Does it now come? Okay. It's not because you're flying, is it? No, it is. Oh, okay, just checking.
Now,
0.95 Mach. I'm getting my flight controller power on.
They're going to get...
Very cool.
They're going to come down about 10 degrees nose down.
I will call it for you. You're looking great. I see you with centered needles and on energy.
And they're basically lining up this meatball right
Got
here.
about a minute to go.
And he's hand flying the thing, which is as it should be.
Needle still centered, looking good. About 40 seconds to go to the hack.
So they're going to turn and descend at this incredible rate at about 300 knots.
Yes, my friend, you are looking good today.
There you go. Looking good today,
30
Taco.
seconds.
All right, we're turning from Port Hardy right now, heading down Vancouver Island.
I'm also waiting for the landing gear ISO, Marcia.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, 5 seconds. 4, 3,
he's going to make a right
2,
turn.
1. See you starting a right turn.
And that's going to line him up with the runway. That's what he's flying right now, and that is the horizon.
There you go. 1.15 Gs.
No, I'm sorry. That's the descent path target.
You're keeping the needle centered. That's great. Waiting for the landing gear ISO still, Marcia.
Okay, so they're losing energy right here. They still don't see the field.
Not open yet, but I'm watching it. I'll open it in a little bit if it doesn't open. Okay.
That's the landing gear.
Atlanta, Houston, slightly low to 180 due to nav.
Okay, they made a
That is copies.
180 turn, and now they're going to shallow it out a little bit.
Just a little bit, just slightly low. You're doing okay.
It's going to come up. It's got plenty of speed.
And I'm showing you about 20K at the moment, so you're looking good.
Okay, 90 degrees to go. It is at 20,000 feet. See how he's bringing the nose up?
Okay, make sure you're not on HIG.
And there's the field.
Roger, on tonight, and we got the airport in sight.
Right over there.
God, that's gorgeous.
Okay. Well, Houston, copy, field in sight. Looking good, Taco. There's pre-final. Show you rolling out.
You have MLS.
Okay. We're going to the close. So the close aim point, I see 2 white lights. Looking fine.
That is the runway.
God, this is fun. Yeah, it is. It's awesome. Waiting for the overlay to settle down.
Just to emphasize, that is the runway, and that is
I like it up here. There you
that,
go. I know you do.
that is the picture.
Mine is right. Mine's right, too. You got to approach and land the body flaps at trail.
See, now they got,
disregard that.
yeah, they had an equipment
I will.
problem, so they got
Visual.
rid of the runway overlay.
2 and 2, looking good. The wind has picked up, so we may not have the energy they think. That's true. Okay, 5,000 feet, checking rad out. 2 is good. 1 is good. You could stay on 1. I'm on 1, decluttered. Okay,
Look at where the
there's
flight path
4,000
vector
feet.
is. Look at where they're headed. They're going to flare in a
3,000,
second.
speed brakes.
This is the flare
23,
coming up.
Roger. Coming up on 2,000 feet,
Right
pre-flare next.
there.
Pre-flare arm to gear, please. Your gear is armed, you got a light. Looking good on your lineup.
Look at it.
You got
They have
1,000
to
max speed, 317.
get the gear out
Going
right
for the
there.
ball bar, keep the pull coming. 600, 500, 400.
That's their flare guidance right there.
Gonna get the gear, 300. Gear's on the way. Get the ball bar a little bit high. Little bit high. Little bit high. 100,
little fast,
260.
too.
Keep
Look
it
at
coming down. Ball bar, 50 feet. Looking good. 20, 230.
Look at the crosswind. You
15,
see the little
10,
bit of
230. Keep it
lean
off,
into
keep
it?
Off, keep it off. Touchdown. Shoot is away. 200, 195. Derotate. Coming down.
Flying the nose
I
down.
will.
Look at that.
170.
And they're still going 170 knots.
Okay. Looking good. Brake lights.
Anyway, so that's an arrival. And he is looking good today, Taco. All right. Let me try to get our sound back. God, I hate Windows. Wish I had a big honkin' Mac that really ran this well, but there are no big honkin' Macs anymore. Get rid of this piece of shit. Damn it. Gah. Stop it. Go away. Come on. Go away. Please. Go away. Alright, well. Screw you. Alright. Coming up on top of descent. Coming up on... Wow, look at that. 72 knot crosswind we're getting battered with right now. No wonder it's windy. No wonder it's bumpy. Okay, coming up on a tuna right there. We're good. For our TOD. Which is there. Okay, looking good. Looking beautiful. We should be lower down here, you know. We should be flying around in the Beaver or something. Not that this isn't pretty. These clouds are wreaking havoc with my performance, though. Well, only when you pan, because it does a little trick. It draws what you're looking at, so if you pan around, it'll try to do bad things. Get rid of that. And looks like the other thing disappeared, thank goodness.
Welcome.
Done. All right, so 3,000 here. It really wants us to be 3,000 here. Yeah, here we go. There's a good designator, huh? All right, let me check the narrative on this. Buick 3 arrival. Is there any narrative? No. All right, these are the restrictions. It's a restricted arrival just to climb performance, which is fine. And crew members must be familiar with the area. Yeah, we are. All right, let's just see what the visual approach looks like. It pretty much echoes our ILS approach, close to it. All right. Where does it put us at Buick? 9,000. That's just way damn high. That's way too high. I don't think that's what the star calls for. It says YVR 3. Alright, it could be a bad database or I could have a bad plate, but if we do it at 5, it won't be unreasonable. See how badly it screws up our arrival. Our VNAV profile. 5,000, 5,000, that's fine. 2,200 LAFO, 5,000 Lurlo, should be a 4,000 here. Alright, that's obviously going to change our TOD. 66 miles, 2155 Zulu, and we are at... Okay, so we're 9 minutes from top of descent. As we're skirting across, this is northern Vancouver Island here. And Vancouver itself will be right behind that haze right over here. And then we're going to loop around this way and land to the west on the northern tip, the northeastern tip of Vancouver Island. In some really unbelievably beautiful territory. Spectacular stuff. Really incredible stuff. Luckily, we have enough fuel to get there. That's looking good. We haven't suffocated people yet. That's good. They're up and walking around and smoking, and that's good. And we are fighting a 73 knot tailwind, crosswind from right about there, so that is wild stuff, in the words of the great Johnny Carson. In the meantime, we can plan our approach speeds. We'll land at flaps 30. And that is done. However, I think I've got stuck in my, yep, I've got some fuel stuck in here, which is more than really is. So let's just delete that. And that should change our approach speed slightly because we'll be lighter. And it does. It's not 150, it's now 146. And there we go. And so that is 146 plus 5 plus, come on, plus the tailwind, give or take. So that's 151, it's about 153. And RV ref is all right. There's our V ref, there's our V app, there's our cleanup speed. Set that because I can while I can. It's a nice hefty runway though, shouldn't be a problem. Alright, let's see. Looks like there's some restricted area above us, but we don't especially care. We couldn't shoot the approach if it were active, and since we're shooting the approach, we know it's not active. So we're good. And look at that view. It's damn nice. That is magical. I mean, look at these fjords. Wow. Even if they didn't have a great name for them like fjord, they'd still be beautiful. If they're called Björkas or something like that, they'd be magnificent. As it's loading clouds. A lot of lag. Apologies. All right. Plug in a descent, put a floor on it for the moment at 5,000, which is where we want to be over Vancouver. It's really acting up. Got new video drivers, that's probably what's doing it. I've screwed up my settings, and that's probably it. The other lovely thing about Windows is they're new NVIDIA drivers every 2 minutes. The bad thing is there are new NVIDIA drivers every 2 minutes. Each one brings its own little personality to the party. Alright, let's see how we look now. There's our TOD. Alright, that's looking good. We are done with Port Hardy, so we can just tune up our localizer here. As we've got a mass of clouds. A veritable sheep load. I keep that up, I'm going to be talking like John Fly and like saying things like, oh, snack. I hope not. He does a hell of a job and he has a hell of a channel, but that boy needs to learn how to curse. Nah, you know what? If he started cursing, I wouldn't know how to make sense with the world. His job is not to curse. Mine is to curse. And with any luck, curse imaginatively. I don't know if I can do it. Not at this hour. No, this hour. It's 9:25 on a Sunday. Alright, I'm hoping we get below the clouds on arrival so that we don't have this sort of Jiminy Cricket pest bastard. There we go, that's good. Jiminy Cricket pest bastard. Stuttering and lag, but whoa, I'll tell you what, it sure makes for some good views, doesn't it? Look at that. You know, I've never done a wing view, I'm proud to say. Can't do it. Not in my constitution. Alright, we should be coming right smack dab on top of descent, and there it is. And there it is. And we're 2 minutes away. And we are looking good today. You know what, I really should... oh. It's like one shot after another. Alright, let's tell people to sit the hell down. Okay, stop smoking. Alright, sit the hell down. Alright. Pick up the trash. Do your crop dusting. Okay, all ready. This is really the governing factor there, and that is set fine, so that's good. Other governing factors here. If we don't set it lower than we are, it won't go down. And this being the IXEG 737 and the VNAV, it bears watching. God, I'm sniffing like Donald Trump at a debate. I hope I'm not coming down with something. Gotta admit, that was weird. That was deeply weird. Well, there were many weird things, but that was one of them. Guy was sniffing like he just got punched in the face. Maybe he had. I don't know. Maybe he practiced for the debate like Raging Bull, had somebody hit him in the face a few times. I don't know. All I know is we're making good speed and we're about to descend and we're about to fly a nice arrival that takes us over Vancouver. So it's hard to complain about that. I did the trip from Vancouver to Victoria on a ferry, and it was one of the most... there we go. It was one of the most visually fulfilling experiences in my entire life. It was so achingly beautiful. There's just no two ways about it. Just gorgeous. Okay, we're a little bit above profile. And I don't think the forecast page works, but there we go. Legs page. And we're shaping up nicely. We're coming down fast. That's fine. We want to get down another 7,000 feet in 18 miles, which is marginally doable. And we're going down, as you can see, at a greater than standard rate. So let's just give it a little help here. Give it some speed brakes. I'm not one of those types who thinks that it is unmanly to throw out the boards. This is not an indication of a sign of surrender. It is just a recognition of physics. And when you consider we need to be at... you see, this is what I don't like about it. It is now ramming the throttles forward. We should do this descent almost on idle, and it should just pitch up and down, or at least that's how I do it myself. Alright, well, see now it rolls off the power. Don't know if the real thing does it like that, but, you know, we're 9 miles away, we're 4,000 above. We really need to get down, and what does it do? It single-mindedly wants to maintain this given speed, and so it rides the power up. And we are moving around Y. Disable some plugins here. Do I have head shake in? I do not. Okay. It wants to bounce this around. Okay, so we have to be at Nanu at 22,000 or 220 in 2 miles, and I think we're going to do it. We want to be at 22.6. Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, I would prefer that it kind of set up for an idle descent. Move the top of descent later. Come down on idle thrust the way you would. See now, it's just disconnected my LNAV for no good reason. And there we go. And do we still have a magenta line? We still do. That's disconnected for spite. Anyway, let's get our inbound course set up for the ILS. Done. Okay, we're off the power again, and we need to be at Cassidy, 17,000 feet, 10 miles. Theoretically, at a standard rate, that's 3,000 feet. And we're going down at faster than a standard rate, so we should make it. And it expects us to make it. So, let's bring our scale in a little bit here. Let's get our nav 1 audio on so we can identify the localizer, which is did it, da did da. In the meantime, let's see how badly the Steelers lost to the Patriots. Ah, crap. Yeah, 27-16. All right. Of course, this is what you should be doing on an arrival. This is how you brief the arrival. 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 4 and 3. All right, well, what are you going to do? All right, coming down to 18. Let's get our local weather. It was 2984 with low winds. It's now, oh, the winds are turned favorable to us. All right, and altimeter is 2982. So set that now. Just going to put us below our glide path. And done. Missed approach. Decision height is set, or decision altitude is set. Brakes are set. These red lights are normal. They're sort of a gear warning, like in smaller planes. Just a subtle way of asking, okay, you seem to be sort of configured for a landing. Do you want your gear down? But we don't. Our lights on right now. We'll leave the igniters for a second. We're not that close. And this is, again, idyllic. I can see why it's slowing down. It's drawing all these cloud shadows and clouds. And it does a very good job of it, I'll say that much. Okay, so we're heading to Duncan, and at Duncan we want to be at 11 something. And there's 15, and we will make that constraint. All right. Looking really good. Looking beautiful. Zoom out a little bit here. Get a big picture view of our arrival. So Duncan, we're going to come to Vancouver here. We're going to loop around and then make a turn here. And our missed approach is back in the Vancouver area. The city, that is, not the island. We'll just declutter that display. Done. There's our turn. Alright, this is looking pretty as hell. And so far, our airplane is performing adequately. I do want to see if my autothrottle disconnect actually works, and it does. And we'll just get that back. And just toggle back into VNAV. There we go. Clouds are murderous. They're normally not this performance sapping, but I think I've got a setting misset. Alright, so there's our turn at Duncan, on speed, on profile, 1176, and Duncan is approaching. It's a flyby waypoint. Alright, that's good. Now, we've got 24 miles to come down to 5,000, so we're doing okay. And our next turn is at YVR, which is Vancouver. They're heading bug lined up here. And that's our missed approach point coming back from Victoria. Alright, so we're going to slow to 240 because we're coming below 10. And we're going to just fly right straight up to Vancouver Airport, and you'll get a good view of the city. And then we're going to come back over the strait. This is just gorgeous. Look at that. I mean, crikey, look at that. Wouldn't you want to live here? Wow. And you get this kind of weather, you get these towering clouds and big puffs and giant storm fronts blowing in and out. A lot of rain, but, you know, if you grew up in Pittsburgh where it's always overcast, it's like the second most overcast city next to Seattle, then you kind of pine away for the exact same thing, only in a little bit better environment, and that's kind of what this is. So I've always had an affinity for places like Seattle and Vancouver, especially Vancouver because of Cuban cigars. Drag required, I don't know why. We are 14 miles away from our target, shouldn't be a problem. But alright, okay. Okay. And okay. 9,500 and coming down now 5,000, and we're struggling to get below 250, so I guess that's what they want. That's why it wants drag. Lights are on. Turn our sparks on at this point. Boom. Cabin is already warned. Warn them again. collect the last bits of trash. Okay, pressurization's fine. Platform altitude is set. Ultimately, we're going to come down to 2200. And that's where we're going to intercept the glide slope. Alright, we'll allow ourselves to come down that low. Once we get established on the glide slope, we will set our missed approach altitude, which is 4. And Vancouver is right behind that cloud. Hope we get to see it. And Whistler Mountain is up around, well, around that way. I mean, who could ask for anything more? Alright, we're at 240. We can take out the speed brakes and arm them. And we are screaming down to 5,000 feet, at which point we should come back on the gas. Just getting these janky frame rates, though. Alright, looks like Vancouver may be hidden behind some mist. I gotta get some ortho scenery for this. Don't want farmland here. Alright, so coming up on 5,000, making the turn at YVR. Doing nicely, staying below speed, that's good. And turning back over the water as we head to Buick. And then we'll turn at Lurlow and get established on the localizer there. Basically, I set up this little route here to conform to the star up until this point and then vector us onto an initial approach fix. Okay, power's coming in as it should. And there is Buick, where we'll make our turn. And do I see the localizer? No, not yet. However, we do have DME. 954, let's double check our frequency. Should be 109.95. 109.95 with a 269 course. And that's set on both sides. Good. And our landing speeds are set, that's good. And our altimeter is set, and that's good. Auto brakes set, speed brakes armed. We're a little far out for that, but we're also going to slow to about 200, and after that you don't really use speed brakes anyway. Depends on the plane, but most planes, most airliners, you don't use speed brakes below a certain speed, and in many Boeing planes it is 200. I don't know if it is in this one. Alright, 21 from 21 DME on the localizer. So it's going to be Buick, Lurlow, and LAFO. Buick, Lurlow, LAFO, Dungey, which is right there, which is where it wanted to turn us, which would have been a very tight squeeze, making our turn onto a 4.2 mile final. So, see anything through the haze. No. Alright, our frame rates are picking up though, that's good. And again, we're not going to start coming down until after Buick. But we are looking good today, my friend. Okay. So I'm scanning more or less like this. Here, 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 here. Okay, now is where our speed comes down. And now is where I'm going to put in flaps 5, which will bring the nose down, make it easier to slow down after that. Okay. And let's see if we can see our localizer yet. We can't, but that's to be expected because it warns that there's no reception more than 15 degrees off track, so that's not unusual. Okay, there's Buick. Now we're going to come down to 4. And we're going to slow to 180. Make our turn to lure low momentarily. So we're going to turn this way. Right now we're going about roughly that way, 150. We're going to turn to 269. And God, it is very, very speed happy. It wants to keep us going fast, and you saw it overshot right there. Don't know why it did that, but it did. So, I'm going to go another 11 miles, and we're going to turn to final. And we are not picking up the localizer yet. We're probably picking up the glide slope, but that is not to be trusted. And I don't know why, when the speed is 180, it keeps wanting to boost us up to right around 200. But, oh, I think I know why. It's 200 up till... No, you know what? I don't know why. Very throttle happy. Okay. Well, it's getting us there faster, so we should thank it. And there's the turn coming up right there at Lurlow. And you can see it's a bit of a turn. That's the extended center line of the runway right there. As it's letting us... Okay, there's the localizer. You hear that beep? And there it is. And you can see we're considerably offset from it. Okay, so we've identified the localizer. We're good. And we're taking one last look at the scenery because it's just spectacular. Even in the mist, it's beautiful. I don't know, maybe some people prefer palm trees and things, but I'll take this. Alright, you notice our DME is going up because we're flying away from the airport. Okay, Lurlow should be at 15.8 DME, so That'll be another way to check and see where we are. Coming down to 4, that's fine. We're below the glide slope. That's good. And we're about 5 degrees nose up. That's fine. And it just wants us to be a little fast, doesn't it? And we will make that turn, and you can see right here that a good course to intercept would be about that. And so we're just going to turn all the way around here. We're pointing basically right now away from the localizer. That is not the airport, thank goodness. If that were the airport, we would be in trouble. Okay, so there we are, and now we're turning to intercept the localizer right there. It's going to start bringing us down. We are comfortably below the glide slope, but not in any danger of hitting anything. Bring our heading around. Going to set it for a decent intercept in case it doesn't make it. Okay, we've blown through the localizer a little bit, as you can see, but we'll come back and get it from the other side. We've got lots of room to do it. We're 14 miles out, so we're good. That's going to put us on a gentle intercept, and we should intercept at LAFO. And at that point, we will abandon the LNAV and VNAV, and we'll simply navigate on our own. And actually, what we'll do right now, you know what? We'll let it establish us. Why not? It's behaving so nicely already. You know what? Let's come down right now. Level change at this speed. We are below we're getting above the glide slope, and I don't want to do that. And now we're just using GPS. We're now using GPS just for lateral guidance. And now I'm going to view our loc. And I have to get down a little bit here, so let's go into vertical speed mode and get our keisters down. And just get ourselves on profile very briefly, just so that I don't intercept from above. Okay. Done. Bring our speed down and go into approach mode. And it should capture the glide slope, and it does. Alright, that is good. And we can go gear down now, and 150, and flaps 15. Okay, gear down, 3 greens. Okay, we're established on both. And there we go, and our auto throttles have disconnected, have they? And I don't know why, but here we go. Just fly it ourselves. Come on. And my controls aren't working. Alright. That's annoying. Let's get fully configured. God damn it. I'm not sure why that happened. At least we have the runway. Get rid of our flight director. Frickin' useless. Speed brakes are armed. Auto brakes are set. All of a sudden, complete loss of control. Alright, well. And a quartering tailwind, which I didn't expect. Alright, that's fine too. Screw you. Alright, we're on speed. A little bit high. No pappies. For some reason we've got a monstrous headwind. Wow, that's a big gust. Alright, we may have to do a little. Yeah, let's do this. Let's get ourselves organized. Gear up. Flaps 15, make it flaps 10.
1,000.
Get a little juice in there. Fly right traffic. Just climb up to pattern altitude. That approach was not stable, and the wind changed very, very quickly right there. So just get ourselves up to 1,500 feet. And we will not make left traffic. We'll make right traffic here. That was gnarly. It's always something. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll just convert our missed approach into a visual approach. Yeah. Let me just get rid of that. All right, get ourselves stable. And again, we just got buffeted by a big old gust there. See where we are. Line up again. Good thing this plane is so much fun to fly by hand. Still, it's doing some weird shit lately. Still see the field. Wow, that's beautiful stuff. I'll say that much. All right. Lost our localizer, which is fine. I could just sightsee here all day. Trimming ourselves out would be nice too. There we go. For speed about there. Well, at least my hand throttles work, but wow. It's weird. Load a little bit of weather here. Any excuse just to look at the scenery, but still. See if I can find the airport again. That'll be a challenge. Be on the wrong fjord. Alright. Well, my hand flying leaves something to be desired too. There we go. On a right base. Gear down, flaps 15. Auto brakes armed, speed brakes armed. Approximate power set. Okay, final flaps. There's our runway right there. Got our 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And our wind looks good. Little slow.
1,000.
Stable this time. All right. Nice little swooping arrival here. See where I'm going. Not where I've been. Alright. See if we can avoid disaster this time. Yeah, already it's not looking good, but...
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
And will our reversers work? I believe they will. Alright, well that was lovely. And welcome to Victoria, where you're going to have the time of your life, I'll tell you. I know we did. Alright, I guess the lesson is abandon an approach that looks hinky. Of course, the other lesson is don't replace it with an equally hinky approach, but, you know, we'll work on that. Let's just take a look at that again. Kind of made a little bit of chicken salad out of chicken shit. See if we made that work okay. Alright, they must have been wondering what the hell we're up to, but here we come. Floated a little bit, but I kind of liked it at the end. I should spend more time flying into places I'm familiar with, though. Didn't know any of the landmarks around there, so... Nice looking airport, though. I like all the fake names, though. Come on. How about FedEx? That's what it is. Alright. We are nicely stable. We're a little fast. If you look at the nose down. Let's see if I scrape the tail on the way in. I don't think I did, but you know, you never know. Hey! It's pretty goddamn nice. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Hello. Ooh. Alright, nothing wrong with that. No, sir. No, sir. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'll take it. And the birds give me a little salute there. Here, look at that. Alright, look. I'll do the Hawaii 5-0 shot for that. Why not? Man, that was pretty good. Oof. Sure recipe to crash the computer. Alright, here we go. Runway 27. Action. Alright, look at the speculars coming off of that off the light. That's pretty good. Alright, here we go. For your viewing pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, the Hawaii 5-0 shot. That's not too damn bad. All right. Win one for the Gipper. Look at that. One more time. One last time. For my own vanity. You gotta love the way X-Plane does instant replays. You really do. I mean, it just... There we are. Just don't want to hit the ground. That's the one thing it does do sometimes. A little long. Very nice. Scaring those birds. Alright, well, enough of my vanity. Enough of that. Our brakes are burning up here. Just let them cool. And bid you adieu. And see you on the next leg of our fantastic journey somewhere. Wherever. It's a pleasure having you on board, and it's great conversing with all of you, and your suggestions and your comments, everything are welcomed with deep gratitude. So thanks for everything, and hope to see you all real soon. Bye-bye.